Hey visibility fans, Vicky Blades, your video coach here, and today I'd like to talk to you about trees. What do you think about trees? How much do you know about trees? Do you even care about trees? I suppose most of us know that trees are fairly important, that there are lots of initiatives to plant trees. There's something called deforestation, which is a bad thing, and generally if we want to reverse climate change, we'll probably need more trees. But do you really know what trees do? So, when I was a struggling actress in London, many years ago, I had to cycle a lot because I couldn't really afford a lot of public transport, and I was always going all over London for rehearsals and auditions and this, that and the other. So I had to find a way of getting around cheaply, and that was by bike. I lived in Walthamstow. This is way before the Olympics. And if you went down to the marshes, you could access this fantastic canal system. And that was my gateway to getting around London. And I remember very vividly coming home late one night, and it was probably August. It was super hot and I was sweaty and tired. And I got to Finsbury Park, and suddenly there was this coolness as I got under the trees. And I'm cycling up, not in the park obviously, by the side of the park. And I just couldn't believe how beautifully cool it was. It was like taking a cold drink. And of course it was all because of the trees. And it wasn't cold, it was just like a real moment. And I remember thinking then, gosh, I had no idea that trees keep things cool, right? So it makes sense that our climate's getting hotter because we're losing our trees. So one of the really important things that trees do is they keep things cool, including the earth, including the atmosphere, including us. So I also noticed that you can see this tree-lined avenue. I'm walking down here. When we first arrived, unfortunately, a lot of the trees were cut down at the entrance. Apparently, behind this great big wall are buildings, and they felt that the trees might fall on them. So I now notice as I come into our compound, which used to be full of trees, how much warmer it is. It's not, you don't get that kind of wash of cool air any longer. A little bit, obviously, because not all the trees have been chopped down. The other thing you should know about trees and deforestation here in Madagascar is that Madagascar's lost 90% of its forest. And what that means is that every single river and every single lake in the whole of the country is brown. It's brown because there's no longer any network of tree roots or trees holding on to the soil. So every time it rains or it's windy, the soil just gets washed into the nearest waterway. So every single river, every single lake is brown. It's really quite grim. And I heard the other day that in fact there's a port that I can't remember the name of. They have to stop once a year to dredge the harbour of 900 million tonnes of soil that's washing into the sea because there's no forests. So you can imagine the effect that has on, well, not only the rivers, obviously, and the creatures that live in the river, but also the sea. The sea can't cope with all that soil. It's not supposed to. And that's all because the trees are being cut down. And I'm going to just show you a space here in our beautiful, beautiful compound, because all of this behind me was forest up until about 2 years ago. And it's been cut down, we think, because they want to build houses on it, which is just a tragedy, isn't it? And when you look at our compound from far away, you can see it's the only area within miles and miles and miles that actually has any trees at all. So today my story is all about trees. What do you think about trees? Have you planted some? Do you know how important they are? Have you ever chopped any down? I always feel terrible when trees get chopped down. I don't know why. Trees, really important for many reasons. And I certainly love them. If you want to know more about making videos like this and telling stories with videos, then please get in touch. I'm Vicky Blades, your video coach, and you can book a free call with me using the link below. Now, go out and hug a tree.